Get to Diablo some more.
You bet.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
cool.
going to situate my headphones.
It's a good thing.
Ronnie.
It's a good thing to have situated.
All right. So good.
All right, rift, more rifting. Yeah, didn't it used to be? Didn't you need to like have a thing?
It used to be that you needed a key to rift.
Right.
And I think you would get them from clearing bounties.
Enemies of the Nephilim surround you.
Kill the Nephilim Rift's guardians. Okay, we will. Rainy desert zone.
Hmm.
What's up, re-ups? Thanks everybody. Man, this new weapon I got is very good compared to the weapon that I had before.
Yeah. I love that.
I think we have the same hammer.
Maybe so.
What is it called? Odin's son?
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Odin, son.
Mjolnir for everybody. Ooh, I like your magic missiles.
Damn right. Let me just like, wow. Oh look, here's a bunch of dudes.
Oh, another maligned character. If he's so maligned, why does he have all these friends?
Uzi the maligned.
Uzi the maligned. Way better
Damn,
than...
I almost got killed. Holy shit. I need to be a little more careful about that.
Yeah, level 20. We just get like exactly the same amount of experience, right? Like for every...
Pretty much.
Okay.
I think like eventually one of us might equip a piece of gear.
Oh yeah, of course.
bonus
It's the
XP or
same
whatever.
default. Alright, I have I gotta equip a new passive. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Seize the
passive.
initiative.
Prodigy. When you cast a signature spell, you gain 5
Oh, shit.
arcane power. The next healing globe. Gains power spend free.
It's fine, I'll just fight these guys by myself. It's cool. I'll try to keep you alive.
Fine, here we go. Eat this.
There you go. Need that sweet, sweet AoE.
Oh.
Well, thanks, Corrosidia. I liked that game too. I finally got to play Life is Strange yesterday. And I quite enjoyed it.
Okay, hang on. Checking my pass.
Weird little game. Okay, let's knock these guys around.
Yes, I'll
There's
do
a
that.
yellow dude over here. Bloat gut. How can you be bloat gut and be disemboweled? You have no bowels. That's literally your jam. You are the bowelless. You're disemboweled. The artist formerly known as Bloat Gut, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. So evidently the bonus XP thing is just shared party-wide.
Nice. So we just need like one player to gimp themselves.
Seriously, yeah.
Like, take it for the team.
Yeah. Swear
Be our
all.
worthless XP sink. Man, like this is such a cool looking skill, but like
Which the
these
fire,
things
the
have
fire
travel
missiles?
time. Yeah, they have travel time, and like it doesn't do as much damage as freezing ray.
Well, sure.
It doesn't slow them down. It does reduce the damage I take by 25% while I'm channeling it, which is, you know.
Sounds
okay.
pretty good.
Do I have? Oh no, I don't.
Bam. Emerald.
Emerald.
Emeralds.
Oh damn! What the fuck? Tongue lashers.
Mink bonk, mink bonk. Did you ever play the? I don't know. Maybe it came out during a period where you weren't playing role-playing games. But did you ever play the Diablo, the like official Wizards of the Coast, like
No.
Diablo Dungeons and Dragons? It was like a, God, I want to say it was like very early, like SRD era. There was a StarCraft one for actually a fairly badass sci-fi game that Wizards put out called Alternity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was so bad. Both of them. Just totally missed the point and like tried to shoehorn Diablo stuff into D&D. Like they're not compatible games at all.
In what way? Because that actually surprises me. Because Diablo feels very roguelike in a D&D kind of way.
Well, I mean, okay, if you change the scale, like if every D&D monster had 1 hit point.
Yes. Yes.
And you could take like 20 actions around. But
Yes.
the problem is that Diablo is so reliant on speed of action, right? That resolving shit in D&D takes such a long time. You're never going to get the momentum, and momentum is so like much a part of the feel of Diablo.
True. Okay, there we go.
D&D has a ponderousness that...
Yeah, no, that's definitely very true.
Yeah. I like your glowy orbs.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Your iron stones. So do you like throw those at people, or is it like a shield?
No, anytime anybody comes close to me, they trip one and then it explodes.
Right. I dig.
This is pretty cool. I'm starting to have a little fun now. Fun
Just now.
with this wizard.
What's an acceptable amount of time in a game design before you have fun? How long
right.
should you have to wait?
I mean, I've still been having fun, but now it feels like I'm starting to be able to do some complex stuff.
Right, it feels like you're actually playing Diablo. It's like how much of a novel are you willing to read before it gets good? Mm-hmm. Like when do you quit? I've been thinking about games lately that I just like played once and was like, nope, don't ever want to play that again.
Yeah.
There's actually not that many of them, but I think it's just because it's so much easier to curate like your game experience than it used to be. The chances you'll stumble on a game you don't like are pretty low.
I mean, there's a lot of ways for you to figure out what you're gonna like and what you're not.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting question from Axis 115. Let me finish stuff in my face so I can answer it.
As I say, is the question, what have you got in your mouth, Steven?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, level 21. I
The
can
question
drink
is,
now.
Do you feel that the gameplay of the Diablo games sometimes undermines the stories of the games? Absolutely.
On purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like it's. I get this impression with StarCraft too. Like, the story feels like a thing that creates the branding of the game, right? It's what allows us to identify with the game as a product of Blizzard's sort of general creatosphere.
Yeah.
But, I also think that they don't. Ultimately, the game stuff doesn't give a shit about, like, the gameplay doesn't give a shit about the story. We could be doing literally anything with these mechanics, and as long as the animation was nice and stuff.
So there's two kind of thoughts here, right? And one is that, to me, the story of Diablo 3 is the story that happens to me when I'm playing it, right?
Right, but you know that, but that's a disingenuous answer, because you know that's not the question.
No, I know, but like for me, the story of the game, the story that the gameplay creates is the gameplay. It is what happens to you in the game. And the story that they're trying to tell with it is a very different thing, and not necessarily supported by the game, which is why they rely on cutscenes.
I mean, if we want to use like tabletop RPG terminology, I think what you're referring to are two different things. You're referring to the narrative versus the story, right?
Yep.
The narrative of Diablo is punch, 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 kick, 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 lasers, whatever, and that's great. And the gameplay is all about that because you create narrative with gameplay. But the story of Diablo is like, you know, the whole thing with Leah and Tyrael and the characters and blah 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 and like all that stuff.
Yes.
And that the game mechanics and that have nothing to do with each other.
Yep.
Like at all.
Like actually, I played through Skyward Sword a couple of years ago, and I did like a little analysis that I wrote up. Mm-hmm. And that was actually one of the comments that I had about it, where it's like, okay, this was a really fun game, but like the things that I was playing had nothing to do with the story of the game, the mechanics.
Yeah.
Sure. I was just like finding doodads and then, you know, manipulating them in the right way to murder things. If you contrast that with a game like Braid, you're starting to look at games where the story and the narrative of the game is more closely related, since the core mechanic in Braid is all about rewinding time, and that's the narrative of the game, is that you're rewinding time to solve puzzles, and the story of the game is one of regret and sort of like trying to figure out what you did wrong. Like if you take it at face value, it's about a relationship, which, oh buddy, that's poignant at the moment. But if you look into like the super deep stuff, it's about what, like creating nuclear weapons and feeling regret about that. It's awesome, but the core mechanics support that so clearly. It's like, oh shit, I died. I have regret. Let me fix it.
Yeah, wanting to go back.
Yeah. I love games that so clearly support their game's story with their...
Well, sure. Like games whose mechanisms... Like, look at... I mean, we talked about this before. Look at, like, Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Like, that game is 100% that. It's like the... And that's where the story and the narrative are very tightly focused together. Right? Because, you know, the story that you're experiencing as you play the game, the story that's being told to you, plus the narrative of play, plus the mechanisms all kind of fit tightly together.
Yeah.
Like, if Diablo's story was about the futility of fighting demons, like, if you didn't win...
Imagine? God.
You know,
So
like, that's how you would make Diablo's story fit its narrative, by just being like, yeah, at the end, it doesn't matter. You can't kill Diablo. You can't kill the demons. You can't do shit. You just start at the beginning again.
Yep.
Because there's no progress.
Well, that's actually, interestingly, like, Dark Souls feels a little bit like the narrative of that story and the story are a little bit related. Because,
yeah, of course. Yeah, because
you
can't
keep
die
respawning this world. Like, at the end of the game, you choose to either continue the cycle or disrupt the cycle. And, you know, there's a 50% chance that you're going to continue it. And if you continue it, then, like, literally what you've just done happens over and over anyway.
Yeah.
And also, that's what happens in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, Dark Souls is a flat circle.
Yeah. So, like, I think that games become their most powerful as an art form when the story and narrative align.
Sure, yeah.
And, like, I think that would make an incredible sort of roguelike dungeon crawlery game if you took this kind of gameplay and you built a story that really supported it. It's on an emotional level.
It's funny seeing all these like indie games that do it in a really kind of ham-handed way, where they're like, we know we're a video game. Like there were a couple of moments in like Life is Strange where it was neat, because Life is Strange, functionally the mechanic is just save scumming, right? Like you make a choice, and if you don't like it, you just rewind and do it again, and it has different effects and that kind of stuff. But there's a point in the game that I kind of roll my eyes at where someone is like, this isn't a video game, and it's like, ugh. God.
Yeah. Well, it's like that same thing in movies. Anytime anybody in a movie says, it's not like we're in a movie or something.
Yeah, small studios love doing that. And like,
but the answer to that is that it's because it's really hard to do.
Yeah, for real.
We see that a lot because that's really tough to pull off. It takes not just skill, but it takes creative vision that a lot of people don't have. And then also it takes a studio willing to accept a person's creative vision and trust them.
Totally.
And modern companies are not set up to do that. Modern companies are set up to minimize risk as much as possible. And trusting someone is inherently risky.
Yeah, for real. And like fiscally risky, right? Like could result in the termination of a company and like, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, fucked it up. In your face, creatures. Ooh, Mystic Ally.
Quill Fiends! Now when I use my little wave of force, the creature that I hit with it deals less damage for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Agnadox.
Agnadox? Look at that.
Fuck Agnadox. Someone say strike your ass. Oh shit.
So I love what we see with the Rift Guardians, because we see the difference in the design philosophy of like pre-release Diablo and post-release Diablo.
Right.
Because many of the Rift Guardians are designed basically to emulate the bosses of the game. Like you'll have the butcher show up, and you'll have gluttony show up. Except they're using that model, and they use like a similar name, but not the same name. But then they use similar mechanics.
I think something like related to that I absolutely love that Blizzard does in it's just a crafting material, bogus. In World of Warcraft is how they use bosses to teach you the mechanics for a raid boss, or they use like dungeon bosses to like lead you up to stuff. It's really cool. Where it's like
that's good encounter design.
Yeah, by the time you get to the boss.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's conveyance.
So what I like about the raid bosses, not raid bosses, but what I like about the Rift bosses is that like it shows you how their design philosophy changed from, okay, the bosses in our game are going to be these set piece bosses that take place in rooms, and they have like special mechanics that involve the space around them, which is all stuff that we did with the Secret World, which I really enjoyed. But it doesn't feel in a Diablo style. It's not true to the previous games, or even really other games in the series, though. Torchlight 2 and Path of Exile both adopted that same sort of thing. But now we've got the Rift, and it's entirely randomized, and then they have these bosses show up that use similar mechanics but don't constrain you into a space, and I think that's really interesting. An interesting way to take those boss fights and stretch them beyond the boundaries that they were originally intended for.
I always liked designing. There's maybe my favorite part about GMing 4th edition D&D was designing World of Warcraft style like boss encounters, where you were like, okay, in this fight on the 5th round the ground light's on fire, and then this monster like changes into this other thing, and like you can design that with that rule set, and I think that wasn't possible with any previous version of D&D. And again, I think it's just because people complain about 4E a lot in terms of saying like, no, it's it's just a video game in D&D form, but that's what I liked about it. Like I like that was the best part of 4E, I think.
Oh yeah, like if that's what you want, then 4E is perfect for that. Absolutely.
I think it's a really cool game and a neat experiment on Wizards' part.
And as a former dungeon designer, I love that shit.
Only the most
Shut up, Oric. I didn't really get anything good out of that dungeon except levels. Sweet levels. Alright.
So like there's a couple of options for like leveling in Diablo 3. Like one of the fastest ways to do it is just to run the Halls of Agony level 3 over and over and over again. But that requires you to like restart the game, and you're running the same exact space over and over again. Gets you a lot of levels very fast, but it doesn't get you crafting materials, and it doesn't get you good gear. So since we're on hardcore, I'm advising that we just run rifts, because we'll get legendaries and we'll get good gear.
That sounds good. I'm into it. K2 was just asking me, I think if they made 4E a board game, people would have loved it. They did. They made several 4E board games. Castle Ravenloft. They did one like recently, I think, in the last couple of months. Like there was that Elemental Evil one, and they were badass. They were really fun.
Get to the chopper.
I'm coming.
All right.
Ooh, a dead villager. God, that villager was stacked. The fuck?
Yeah. No. Just immediately run away. Oh damn! You just wrecked those guys.
That's right. It's because I used my not being feared thing, and then just ran in and hitting them.
Nice. Kraken Smash in chat is asking me if we have any plans to do anything with Sword Coast Legends, and like, there's nothing that I can announce or anything, but like we're obviously
we're obviously like curious about it.
And like we'll see. Like I'm horrendously impatient with video games that I don't think are very fun for me. So like, it's got to actually be a good game. I'm not just gonna play it because
just because it's D&D, yeah.
Or just because like lots of people want to watch me play it because I do a lot of D&D stuff. But if it is a good game, I'm definitely going to do some stuff.
I think the inverse being true, that we could. I think if it ends up not being a good game, I mean, God forbid. If it ends up not being a good game, it would be interesting to at least critique why that's true.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But like, I'm not gonna do that for 12 hours or 10 hours.
Yeah, totally.
Whereas if it is a good game, yeah, you guys might get like, you know, dozens of hours of Steven content out of it, and who knows, maybe dungeons you can download and play with your friends.
The fuck does happen?
I think that would be super cool to like make some stuff that the community can download and play, and then y'all can be like, oh shit, Steven's not actually a good game designer, and I'll be like, this is the terrifying thing about making games, right? It's like making video games, you work for years to create something, and you're just working in a vacuum for most of that
sure
time.
Yeah, and then
you
put it out
and you're
"This
like,
is
wait,
poo."
what if I'm actually bad at this? And
Honestly, I don't think there's such a thing as good game designers or bad game designers. Like, I don't think you can just say like, this person is not good at designing games. Like, I think you can learn skill and you can improve at game design, but I think fundamentally you just have to look at every given thing on its own.
Oh yeah.
You know, because like there's like designers, there are designers that I like who have put out games that I'm like, meh, whatever. It's both not for me and doesn't do the things that I had hoped or expected it to do.
Yeah.
It's like bands, right? Like a band puts out an album that's like different or not as good as their usual, and people are suddenly like, they suck, they are a bad band.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but like it was a different producer and like different people wrote these songs and like, you know, it's like again like 4E, man. Like the people are like, this sucks, Wizard sucks, they're bad at games, and you're like, well, yeah, but it's a different team than maybe like made the version of D&D you love.
Definitely. But also like that feeling of, oh god, maybe I'm a bad X is a feeling that everybody feels.
Yeah, for real.
It's called imposter syndrome, because you see everything that you struggle with and you don't see everything that other people struggle with.
Well, I think imposter syndrome is like a sort of slightly different thing, where imposter syndrome is like when you're succeeding and you're like, I shouldn't be here. They're gonna figure out that I'm a fake.
Oh yes.
Right, like that's an aspect of it too. Like it's like, oh, somebody will realize that I totally blow, and this is like, I didn't have anything to do with this, or like whatever. And that's definitely a real thing too. But I mean, you gotta get over the other feeling that like, maybe I'm not a good designer, maybe I just shouldn't do this, before you're even allowed to start feeling like you don't deserve the success you did get.
Oh yeah.
Why did my left click ability go away, or my right click? Get fucked. I really fucked up my talents at some point somehow. Okay, they're all fixed now. Oh shit, Legion the Unforgiven. I wonder what he did. What did you do, Legion? Well, whatever it was, it wasn't bad enough to get him maligned, so.
Yeah, true. Well, it's like maybe maligned is like, you know, they didn't really do it, but people say they did.
Right. Yeah, because it's like
Unforgiven is like he really did it and the people hated it.
Also, like, is forgiveness a big like demon quality? Like,
yeah.
all the other demons are forgiven? I don't really...
then there's a question of like, where do demons come from, and like, are they born in hell, or are demons like created in some other way?
Right.
Because it's like, maybe demons are created when, you know, someone is unforgiven for something, you know, some unintended negative consequence, and then like, you know, they live with that emotional terror and guilt for so long that they become this otherworldly entity.
I'm sure that it's explained in the Diablo lore somewhere. Like, I think the demons are the natural inhabitants of hell. Like, they're just,
well, like, that's the
flora.
disappointing thing about Diablo lore. It's like they're just inherently evil creatures that are born in another plane to attack.
Sure, they're chaotic evil, man, and that's that's how it is. I mean, I like a cosmology that doesn't give a fuck about humans. That's like the angels and the demons. Like, I hate cosmologies that make humans like special snowflakes. And
Central,
I like,
yeah.
ooh, this is a better weapon than both of the weapons that I'm wielding.
Good.
How do I? Oh, it's Alt. Okay.
No, but I like.
It's better than my Odin hammer. Chain lightning's pretty good.
I like the idea of like for me, horror is a very emotional thing, and like the best horror movies always have a very emotional component, where it's like there's allegory that's going on that that exposes the real world horror that these characters are facing. So like, I think I may have talked about this a little bit earlier on a stream sometime, but like if you watch The Orphanage, which is ostensibly a movie about like some parents who live into a house and their child goes missing, their adopted son goes missing, and like they start like having ghostly or otherworldly paranormal experiences in their house. Like, it's all like scary because it feels paranormal and weird and otherworldly, and you know, maybe there's ghosts, maybe there's demons, who knows what's going on. But then you go through the movie and you realize that it's all pretty natural.
Yeah.
But the natural thing that has happened is absolutely horrific. It is terrifying and awful and like soul crushing.
But it's
and
still,
to me,
it's
like
real.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's the power of horror, is exploring metaphorically horrible, horrifying things in a safe way through metaphor. And I like games that play on that level too. So like, yeah, if these creatures were actually humans who were just rejected or ostracized, or you know, had been,
I guess I feel like Diablo,
terrorized.
I feel like that's the thing, is like committing to humanocentrism or not, right? Where it's just like humans are special and important, but there are like angels and demons who are better and cooler than them in every conceivable way.
Yeah, unless you're an Nephilim.
I mean, unless you're an Nephilim. Sci-fi does that like fucking all the time, right? Where they're like, humans are so special somehow, and all the other alien races are jealous of them or whatever, and it's like, blah.
Like, can you imagine if we make first contact with an alien race and they're like, God, what's it like for you guys to be so not special?
Yeah, exactly. You
Since we're
blow
the best.
humans. You are the. Yeah. No, we just get mad. We just get mad at them and find a reason to like try to subjugate them,
Yeah, exactly.
or eat them, or have sex with them, or all three of those things.
God, I can't imagine what it would be like if there was another creature on planet Earth that had the same level of intellectual intelligence as humans do.
Are you saying? Are you
that we
saying
could
like
communicate with?
like the one just showed up, or one that just existed?
No, like one that just existed.
right,
Like,
that like
elves
co-evolved with
or
us.
like pandas. If pandas just had a level of intelligence where we could speak to them and they were smart.
Dude, the really
like-
embarrassing thing is gonna be when we figure out that like octopods or whatever are all as smart as humans, but just don't have the same communication matrix. And we're gonna be like, oh god, we are the worst.
Yeah. But like, imagine if you could communicate with these creatures and then develop romantic relationships with them.
Yeah. Well, because that's
That would happen.
That's the thing about AI, right? Like that's why there's all these like falling in love with robots stories, because that's a thing that would happen. Because again, humans are biologically programmed to want to eat, subjugate, or hump things. And that's just how it works.
Subjugate, hump. That should be the new fuck, marry, kill.
Eat, subjugate, or yeah. Which of these three people would you eat? Who would you make your slave, and who would you fornicate with?
All right, Adam. So
I don't wanna
JP,
play this game.
DJ Weed, and In Control. Eat, subjugate, hump.
Jesus God. Well, actually, it's not that hard. Like I feel like if you leave eat for the last option, you know, I would probably have to. The most challenging subjugation would be Jeff, right? Because that guy.
True, definitely. Yeah.
So that's, you gotta take the challenge.
Yep.
And then I guess I'd probably have to hump wheat.
Yep.
Which just leaves me to consume JP.
Eating JP. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, JP.
This is all predicated on the idea that any of those things would be even possible. I mean, I still think that we need to wait for like a convention that everyone is at, so that we can have our secret underground roleplay fight club.
Yep, absolutely. It's a shame I'm not going to TwitchCon.
I know.
Power pylon, wow, 400%
Yes.
damage.
Oh my god, I feel so powerful.
It's almost a waste because it wasn't a conduit pylon.
Yeah. We must click additional pylons.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? That was a cool looking effect. Do you see that?
No.
It was like a red like cone of rings?
Oh yeah, that's like
seen
one of
that
those
before.
bats that like has one of the.
That was cool looking.
I like create lightning from the sky around me sometimes. Oh, it's my lightning armor, of course. No duh.
Yeah. I think, did I get a... Oh yeah, I got hard target, okay. Increased armor.
Smoking something of something or other. It's better. I equip it.
Yeah, I gotta check. I've got a whole lot of new... Ooh, rare pants. I wish you would just highlight the items that are better than the ones you're currently using.
Well, it sort of does. You just have to like mouse over them first.
Yeah.
Like it makes it super simple. Like if you see a bunch of green numbers, just click it.
Yeah, people in chat are having the same problem as me where they're like, I hear a goblin, but it's not. It's my Nagel ring conjuring sub-goblins.
Level 25.
Was there even a monster there? Like...
Yeah, I killed a monster and it made that sound.
Yeah, I just mean like we walked into this area and then suddenly gained a level.
Yeah, I blew them up.
Monsters.
And like I want to be like close range. Let me see if I can like make that happen. So spectral blade, siphoning blade.
I gotta rune up here.
Each enemy hit increases the damage of your fire spells. Oh shit. Chain lightning. How far does that reach? Quite far. So that's not a close range, dude. Siphoning blade.
We missed a chest. Where did we miss a chest? Oh yeah, we did, up in the corner. Come here, you. Oh, look at that freaking falchion.
What? Like, I don't understand. Disintegrate is so not nearly as good as Ray of Frost. That's so weird. It's like you'd only do it if you want your damage type to be arcane instead of something else. Slow time teleport. I gotta take that. Alright, so Frost Nova, that's good.
What's up,
Wave
Brutal?
of Force is good. How much does that cost? 25. Should I put Wave of Force over here? Maybe so. Frost Nova. I don't want that.
So I'm a sucker for, and this is a reason why I like Diablo maybe more than I would otherwise. I'm a big sucker for like repurposed Christian mythology. Like I'm pretty into the whole like angels and demons like warring, anything with a sort of pseudo-Christian like aesthetic vibe, like you know, big gold crosses, and like I love that old-timey fucking Satan shit. Like I love the inverted pentagrams and the like, you know, bloody heavy metal looking spiky bullshit. And like that part, the I guess the aesthetic of Diablo is a thing that I would want to like pick up and use for a game. Like you could just play 5e or whatever and just borrow the aesthetic. So like instead of gods, there's just like angels and demons and like do that whole thing. Mm-hmm. And you know, people like, I'm sure you get this question constantly too. People are always like, how would you do this game as a tabletop RPG? You know? Yeah. And it's like you kind of have to look at setting and mechanism and what things you want to incorporate and what things you can separate. Okay, we still need to be in here, don't we? Or do we have? Oh, can we go to the next area for this?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We only need to kill like 2 more guys.
Yep.
You know, and like that's the part of 40K that I like too, like the sort of Roman, but also sort of Catholic kind of like. There's a very sort of pseudo-Christian Gothic vibe to it that I think is a super cool part of the setting.
Yeah.
I totally
like,
buy into that.
So I actually really like that about Diablo 3. Mm-hmm. But I like that about Diablo, but
oh yeah,
like it's sort of minimized in Diablo 3 actually.
Full on, yeah. Diablo's way less metal than it used to be.
Yep.
The choker. I mean, you know that sexual proclivity is why this guy is called the choker.
Oh yeah.
It's just a bad nickname that he got from like an ex.
You think the ex gave him the nickname the choker, and not like his current like gossiping?
Yeah, no, it's like an ex that was like, "Oh, Gary, you mean the choker?"
Choker.
Okay, hold on.
So this ex was not into it.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like scorn is a funnier way to approach that, but
fair enough.
All right. People keep every time I drop like a white item, people are like, "Why are you dropping your white items?" But I'm like, "But I need to pick up these yellow items. Are they not better?"
That's true.
Fuck off, Dex Cloak. All right.
So like the whole like demetalization of Diablo 3 can be seen in the Crusader and how he just worships this sort of like ethereal light.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like previously like the feel of Diablo and Diablo 2 was very sort of old Gothic monastery. Like there's lots of pseudo-Catholic symbolism there. And I think like really clearly making it not this sort of ethereal light thing. And like they had all these sort of like the Herodrim felt like a really interesting secret society, partly because they were like Kabbalah-esque, where they were like investigating into the arcane truths behind a concrete religion.
The thing that I'm glad that they managed to avoid was making the Herodrim like magic Jews, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're close,
Yep.
but thankfully
Close
managed
to
managed to get away from that. I don't want this big smashing thing.
That's got to be a trope.
Yeah, it is.
Like a TV trope, magic Jews.
It's like a I mean, I don't think it's. God, should I can't decide. Chat, should I destroy this hammer or should I? Am I missing something that I should be using it? Because it doesn't look as good as the other things that I have. Oh, hold on. It's better than reviving sap. Okay, cool. I can use this as my offhand. Yeah, I mean, it's the same as the like Magic Savage thing that that some games do. Like even Shadowrun is kind of like guilty of this, where they're like,
Right.
the Native American shaman, fought the government with actual magic because Native Americans got it first because of their beautiful tribal. And it's just like, okay, like stop. Should I be? I guess I should be socketing gems now, hey? Because I have space for it.
I mean, I guess. Like, I don't really know because we're gonna probably replace your gear pretty quickly anyway.
Sure, but I got like a billion gems.
True.
I got a billy here. All right, so what should I? So chest. What's my main stat as a monk? God, I haven't played this in a long time. Dex.
I should say. I think it's Dex.
Yeah,
Demon
ruby
Hunter's
in
monk.
this shit. Bonk. And then my pants, I want to put. Yeah, all decks for days. All right, fucking emeralds, Emerald City. Here, actually, I'm gonna go and make a super emerald.
So someone pointed out to me that disintegrate goes through mobs, which is why it's
Why
better.
can't I?
Oh, it's got such a good sound too.
I don't understand why you can't make here. Train up. There we go. Flawless emerald. Boop. I guess I should have done that before, but whatever. Fuck it. Okay, cool. I have more dexterities. Green in everything, red in weapon. Perfect. I got it. And then I deconstruct it, I'll get my gems back.
Yep.
Alrighty, let's go and hit things with more things.
I have no sockets. I know I have one socket in my chest. I don't care.
Yeah, look at all my little goobery friends. Go get them, goobers.
The goobers.
I love them. Gloop.
Magloop.
I love that might be my favorite like offhand JP troll joke ever. Like I can't stop calling Gallahan Magloop. I just can't do it. It's his new name.
It's because the most interesting part of your character isn't what your backstory is. It's what has happened to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Gallahan didn't have a name. We should make it so that like your West Marches characters don't have names until they earn one out in the
right.
fields of battle.
Whatever, man. When a character in West Marches dies, he has a name.
Yeah, exactly. And that name is Robert Paulson.
Exactly. All my
Every
characters,
character.
all my characters' names are Robert Paulson. Robert, son of Paul.
Get up here and breathe some fire on things. I got a scholarly fez.
Awesome. The scholarly fez of cultural appropriation.
Channeling pylon. Destroyed. Delicious.
Oh, I just got an item called Nirvana Wound.
Nice.
You know how else you can get a Nirvana Wound? A shotgun.
Oh god.
Too soon.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that was terrible.
My power grows. Oh, there's a gelatinous sire, a nefarious promulgator. Die. You're dead.
That increased.
What? Oh no! Quick, kill them both.
Killing 'em.
Ah, my God, what?
He's doing it. Why are there so many tiny gobos?
We have to kill them all.
I did it. I used my punching.
There's one up there. It's going to escape. Oh my God. Fuck.
That ability is not yet charged.
Kill him.
I did.
Good.
Don't tell me what to do. I did it.
Good.
Do you want me to click on these monsters, Steven?
Yeah. Come on. What are you doing? Less not clicking and more clicking.
Diablo micromanagement.
There's only one action you can take. I exhort you to take that action.
Exactly. Give him the clamps, Adam. Oh, Vernethiel. So, okay.
She was clearly an angel.
An angel, yeah.
Yep.
Well, because you know why, here's a like an Old Testamentization that is a thing that's stuck around. So the IL at the end of things, like Mikael, Gavrael, like the angel names. El just means God.
Oh, nice.
So it's like of God. So like Mikael, I think means just like sword of God.
Mick of God.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's a linguistic thing that you see it in a lot of fantasy games where like elf names sound like Tolkien-esque elf names because that's what we've come to think that elf names sound like.
Yep.
So if you want a thing that sounds like an angel, just chuck L at the end of the name.
Stephen A.L. Yep,
and it
totally.
sounds,
Works.
Steve L. The Steve. I am here. The Steve of God.
The Steve of God.
The grim Steve of God.
Now shall you feel the Steve of God.
I'm sorry. Did you say Steve? Yes. Yes. The Steve of God.
Why is this so hard to understand? Everybody asks that.
Oh, Wuluxar.
Wuluxar, the Betrayer?
Yeah.
That's a very strange name. So, what did Wuluxar betray? She's a succubus.
I mean, so is it betrayer in the sense of like because okay, again, this is like the Bizarro world thing of demons, right? Like if Satan punishes the evil, how can Satan be bad, right?
Yeah.
So like is betrayal like a Bizarro world thing where it's like it's good to be the betrayer? Is that like a title of glory, right? Have you betrayed the most people?
This is the creature who was created intentionally for betraying.
Right, and if so,
like you invite one of the demons to dinner and like they send the betrayer in their stead, and you're like, oh well, this is like totally fine, everything's good, and nothing bad is gonna happen.
right, but you like, do you want to be betrayed? I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, Cromwell.
Oh, but then you can become the betrayed, and that's like a really prestigious title also.
Well, no, but see, being betrayed is a sign of, like, I think a sign of weakness. But then maybe weakness is good if you're demons. It's all Bizarro world.
I am so good, I astound myself.
I must lessen my burden.
Oh, I have no space for these reptilian spalders.
It's actually really fun to emulate voices from games.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a little challenge or puzzle or something.
Yeah. Well, people ask me about like doing voices for NPCs and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not making this stuff up wholesale. I'm just mimicking collections of other voices.
Other things you've heard.
Like somebody, I was thinking about this because somebody asked me like, oh, how did you come up with the like Mombon accent? And I'm like, that's just me mimicking Wheat. Like that's my like, look, Wheat, I'm doing your silly accent.
Yep.
Okay, I have way too much shit. I got a town portal, I think.
My bags are full.
Yeah, my bags are way full.
Holy shit, super full. What's this intractable prize anyway?
It's like a prize that you can't track.
Ooh, it's a ring. Holy fuck, that's way better.
Alright, hey Drake. Fucking rack up the
damn.
joint.
Got some good ass shit. This is what this game's all about. Getting good ass shit.
Yeah, I just have an inventory full of totes poop.
Alright, yeah.
I think I should have kept that helmet. Oh well, fuck it.
Hedrig, help me.
Oh my god, yes! The best voice in the whole game, Mira Eamon.
Hey,
Dreg.
Mira, my love.
Hey, Dreg, can you pick up milk on the way home? Hey, Dreg.
And that's what she sounded like when he married her.
Yeah, totally. That's not like a new thing. Hey, Dreg, I love you.
It's not because she's sick.
Have a good day at work, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Uncraft many items.
God, can you imagine like being a blacksmith and being like, I'm gonna make the best daggers.
I know you're
in the
a
world.
garbage disposal.
And then people bring him stuff and are like, just take this apart.
Yeah. Hey Drake, I've brought you several hundred items for you to just wreck them. And he's like, yeah, but I made this beautiful saddle. What do you?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Shut up, Drake. Fucking get to work, man.
Listen, man, nobody wants saddles.
Yeah, we need you to turn.
We don't even have horses.
Yeah. Dude, I don't care about your artisanal sword craft. Just fucking turn this mace into a pile of shit.
Yep. Make my lance anything not a lance.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Hadrig is like hella underappreciated.
Yep.
Alright, I got some more stuff. I gotta check on my skills. When dual wielding, a 35% chance to dodge incoming attacks. Oh yeah, I like a dual wield. I'm doing it. Guardian's Path. Guardian's Path.
Oh, I don't even have my familiar anymore. How long does he last? 10 minutes. I wish I had a little buff that showed me when my familiar was active. People are asking me why I'm slamming my mouse button so hard. LOL.
Why do you click so hard?
It's a Diablo, bro.
Look, you don't understand. It's a mechanical mouse. It just sounds like that.
Yeah. The mouse feel is just so nice.
Congratulations to my friend Corey Baker. I like how the whole stream is like my camera is just slightly below the friend notification box, so the stream just keeps seeing when people are looting cool gear.
Nice.
Also, yeah, somebody just pointed out in chat, and I've noticed this before, but it is totally BS, that I get all these cool weapons, but I just leave them on my belt. The monk doesn't have any attack animations except for punching and kicking.
Yep. Oh god.
What is shooting those fireballs at us? Oh, this
Yielding
fucker.
dorks. It can often be hard to wade through the visual panoply and discern what's friendly and what's hostile. Because there's just so much going on. We had an issue early on, or late in beta in the secret world, where one basic attack for the sword weapon was this huge, massive sweep that did like a 360-degree AOE and then made columns spawn and lightning come out of them. We were like, this is an attack that players perform once every 1.5 seconds. We can't have it be this dramatic.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the Blizzard aesthetic, right? Like, Blizzard doesn't make austere-looking games.
Yeah, it's totally a thing. Like, you could make a game like Diablo that feels very different if it had, really understated visual mechanics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta hand it to Blizzard. Like, people complain about the sort of cartoonification of the cross-platform. Like, all of Blizzard's games kind of have this similar vibe, but that's totally on purpose and very much like a good branding move for them. Yeah, Speed 1E. I am also super excited for more Kentucky Route Zero. I hope the next episode comes out sometime in the eventual future.
We wreck face. We are in the wrecking face stage. It's good.
Hey, look, someone's face to wreck.
Goodness queen is young.
That's right, Rift Guardian. We're not stuck in here with you. Hey, is that Zoltan cool? He's so cool.
His name is the Sand Shaper.
Oh, Zoltan. He's so cool.
Like, that dude, I've read some stuff about, his lore and stuff. And it's like, he's one of the coolest characters in the game, and you just go murder.
That's why his name is cool.
Yeah.
You don't get to be called Zoltan Cool for nothing.
Unless you are cool. Yeah. Yes, very good, Adam. I appreciate what you're trying to do.
He's so cool.
But what was it? It was like he has the soul stone and he wants to use it to gain power, and then instead we just like give it to Leah, who's Diablo, and it's like, he's
honestly,
like, why did you do that?
Honestly, I gotta say, like, barring some very rare circumstances, writing lore, being a lore writer for a Diablo game is like masturbating. It feels good, but no one's gonna appreciate it but you, man.
Yep. Sure.
Like, that's just like. Maybe one or two other people would appreciate it, but for the most part, you're doing it for you.
We're gonna do this in the right order now.
All right.
Actually, close the rift before we salvage our gear.
Good call. Is there anything good?
Someone in chat's asking me about the recent national leaders debate and the 2015 Canadian election. But since I'm American, I have been a lazy bum and don't pay attention to Canadian elections.
Way to set me up to look like a jackass because I'm not paying attention either. All I know is that all governments are kind of bogus, and some governments are more bogus than others.
Yeah.
And the one that we have now is sort of exceptionally bogus.
Exceptional bogitude.
If you want to know what I think of Canadian politics, you can go and watch my Canada Day stream from back in July, where I was playing The Long Dark and talking about Canadian politics.
And like, haha, look how terrible this all is.
Yeah, let's talk about Stephen Harper.
Oh shit, that's pretty good. I like that. Astral presence. Let's do that instead.
Is that where you get presents from the astral plane? They
Yep,
just appear?
exactly.
Okay, now I'm gonna go and make like real. I'm gonna make some real emeralds.
Zoom in. Let's admire my awesome outfit, which looks totally dumb. Look at that dumb hat. God, that hat is...
Yeah,
Governments are just puppets of megacorps and dragons.
that's what I heard. Yeah.
Damn right, Weaver.
Oh yeah, we making gems now. Boop boop. Look at this. I'm cool looking. I have a funny red hat. Oh, you look stupid as fuck.
Yep. Oh, is it time for another 5-minute break, Adam?
Yeah, let's take another break.
Cool. So we'll be back shortly. I'll put up that timer.
Cool, cool. Stick around. More mashing stuff after this.